Well, hello and a very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you very much for logging in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this evening. Well, first up, Pristine Care, which is a healthcare startup specializing in surgeries, has raised as much as $53 million in a Series D round of funding led by US investment fund Tiger Global Management. Now, post this funding, Pristine Care's valuation rose to $550 million, which is basically more than doubling from the $250 million that it had been valued at about 6 months ago. Now, the company plans to scale up investments to expand scope in medical technology and to offer all kinds of minimally invasive procedures as well as to expand its India footprint. Well, moving on to the second headline of the day, Indonesian edtech startup CoLearn has raised as much as $10 million in a Series A funding led by AlphaWave Incubation as well as US-based EdTech investor GSV Ventures. Now, this fresh infusion of capital will help the company invest in product, technology, development, hiring, as well as marketing. Now, Colearn launched its online platform in August 2020 and has scaled to reach about 3.5 million students so far. Well, Paytm has expanded its employee stock option plan pool or its ESOPs pool to $604 million from around $33.4 million last year as it added more equity options to its existing pool. Now, Paytm will be using this additional shares to give more employees stock options during the annual performance appraisal exercise. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, SaaS unicorn Druva says it has raised $147 million in funding at a valuation of more than $2 billion. Now, Druva will be using this fresh round of funding for product innovation and market expansion for its cloud platform. Now, Druva is a cloud data protection and management technology company that turned unicorn in June 2019. Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me someone who has been in news of late. I have with me Dr. Apurva Ranjan Sharma from Nine Unicorns. Thank you very much for joining us on the Daily Dispatch. I want to begin by asking you about the third close of the fund at $40 million. Run us through what your experience has been over the last couple of months, considering that this is the third close of the fund that you've just announced.
Last couple of months, rather last 1 year, post-pandemic was announced. Somehow I see a surge in the startup activities a lot across the globe, not only in India, but also across the globe. And that was visible because in the past also the similar trend happened when we had recessions and all. And we saw a lot of new startups coming, in the recent past. And recently, the even 945 crore fund by Startup India, they also announced it. That was just yesterday. And in fact, I'm part of their expert committee also there. So even the government is also taking initiatives to promote startups across India. So that is a very good signal to the ecosystem. And I think in the last 1 year, because last year itself, January, if you see the 2020, we invested 102 startups. So while all other activities has gone down, the startup activity suddenly has grown a lot. And in fact, you would have seen in last 1 month, more than 9 new unicorns are born. And India has declared 100 plus unicorn economy now, which is the third biggest in the world. So I think that's a very, very credible statement in itself. So with that, the whole ecosystem across India, startup, especially startup ecosystem, is very, very vibrant. Probably a time which was never before.
Yeah, I want to specifically talk about what your assessment is. Because when you look at so many startups, you're looking at exploring startups both from the right from the ideation stage to a follow-on stage where the startup is actually going ahead with its seed funding and all of that. So, I want to understand from your perspective, has this changed in a certain way? Has this thought process evolved when you look and consider startups nowadays?
See, the quality of startups have significantly gone high. And that is why I'm saying, because in the idea stage, when we started Nine Unicorns, we used to do $100,000 investments. We thought, $100,000 is enough. But now today we are getting, and we are looking at the deals which are closing $3 million, $2 million, $1.5 million in the idea stage. And our check sizes, of course, have to increase to up to $750,000 because of that. Although most of the cases we do $250,000 to $350,000, maximum $400,000. But because the quality has increased a lot, A-grade founders who sold companies, there are plenty in numbers now. Though the A-grade founders who have done massive corporate, startup, they have been in the prominent position or the co-founding teams of the large startups. They are plenty in number and doing large startups. Large number of startups. That's why the funding round in the idea stage has grown. Similarly, in the funding round in the seed stage also has grown. Earlier, it used to be $500,000 to $1 million maximum. Now it has grown from $500,000 to even $3-4 million. And then talking about the seed stage, and this is general. So observation is that the quality of startups have definitely gone to the next level, and more people are doing startups. And also the check sizes are growing to the idea stage as well as seed stage. In our own setup between Venture Catalyst and Nine Unicorn, I can see that happening.
When you look at the overall, you invested about in 40 startups from this fund as we speak, and you've closed $40 million at this point in time. Within this category, are there specific segments that you're seeing an increasing traction in? Because when you talk to startups, I think everyone's getting into the edtech space in a big way. But what is your experience with segments within the ecosystem are seeing more ideas, or where are you seeing more traction?
Yeah, our experience is totally different. AdTech is, yes, one prominent category. We are seeing number of startups, but at the same time, it is also getting towards the saturation now. Fintech is all-time high right now because fintech is used to, everything is online payment now. More and more fintech is going to grow for sure. Next 3-5 years, fintech is booming sectors. FMCG suddenly has grown a lot because supply chain, especially the online e-commerce is very, very, and also the support by Swiggy and logistics company. So suddenly FMCG is hot. People in the personal care space, hair care space, the protein deficiency space, plenty of new startups are coming into FMCG. If you see the world, out of 500 unicorns across the globe, 82 of them are FMCG unicorns. And in India, not many. So that's why, I am seeing a definite surge in the FMCG space in terms of some of the unicorn coming out of it. Also, and of course, there is an ecosystem already in place of Unilevers of the world in India, those who can acquire or, sort of large number of companies are in. Marico is there, Imami is there, and all those guys. So definitely that sector is hot. The second sector, which is becoming hot, is healthcare product space. We are seeing companies who are coming out with very, very innovative products for diabetic control. There are patches coming in the diabetic control. There are, scanners coming which can, look at your arteries, sort of thickness, and also, come out with a, prediction whether you will have the, nephrologic problem or not. Or the heart problem or not. So these kind of very innovative products, people earlier in India, especially the healthcare space, they never used to invest in these R&D projects. They say these are R&D projects. I just invested in a company which is having, they're coming out of artificial liver. They're bypassing the liver. The Indian Institute of Sciences, company. So, they come out with a very, very innovative ideas in the healthcare product space. Now, I'm not talking about healthcare services, which is already flooded. Also, the third thing which sector which I'm seeing apart from edtech is always all-time high because of the Byju's of the world. But people are also coming on good travel tech product companies, surprisingly, because right time at the right price, people are getting it. Although the travel in India is impacted, but you see because of the massive vaccination in Middle East and also the Europe and also US, the situation there is cut and control. And so the revenues of those companies are growing there. So that's why they want to acquire some good travel product companies in India. So there are new sectors opening up, not just limited to, I will say deep tech is always, coming out with many SaaS good companies, which I'm seeing now, which was earlier, very few, but now it is large number of SaaS good product companies are coming. So, I'm seeing, a lot of good new sectors are opening, which is very important. supply chain, many new sectors, many new startups are coming. So these are, and I can give you examples because we invested in some of them. Recently, I've invested in a company which is into defense tech, which is, which was announced recently in Economic Times also. We invested. This company has come out with a drones which can do help Indian military to surveillance. So this defense sector is also opening up. And I think in the future, you will see a many good startup in defense tech space. So that sector is, and many international accelerators are coming to India to set up shops for the defense accelerator. So I think that sector is also going to be hot in the future.
These are very interesting insights out there. But when you look at for you as a person investing and accelerating, mentoring these startups from the ideation stage, is it becoming more challenging at this point for you to go ahead with this kind of mentoring process, considering that the quality of startups has gone up? So of course, your strategy for both fund allocation as well as mentoring may have seen a significant shift at this point in time.
We see this as an opportunity, to be frank, because India is in a situation where China was 7 or 8 years back, where everybody in the world, the biggest investor, they are seeing Indian startup economy. And probably they see an opportunity to make massive money. Those who have invested 7 years back in China, they are millions and billions now. This is that situation. In the idea stage, of course, when the quality of the founder is very, very high, you require different type of building blocks to support it, right? You can't just have a general program like you will have, most of the accelerators across the globe, they're inspired by Y Combinator. We have great respect for that. But reality is you need, when you have A-grade founders, you need customized program for that. So you cannot, have same program for these startups. So that's why our program is a very, very customized program. Every startup for us is a different use case. We do the gap analysis. We understand, okay, this company needs to go to the next level. And our speed is very, very high. More than 25% companies have raised money. Within the 3 months, have raised money from the category 1 VC funds. The reason why it is happening and many times they're co-investing with us in the idea stage itself. And that is also a new trend. I would have never seen in the past that, IDG or Next is investing in the idea stage, $5-6 million, right? That I've never seen in the past, but this is happening now, right? So, specific cases like in case of Mitron IC, one of my portfolio company, Next has invested, IDG had invested one of the companies. All these VC funds are also co-investing with the accelerators, which is also a new trend, right? And as far as the mentorship is concerned for these startups are concerned, people even from the Silicon Valley, I'll take some name, some of IC members. We have, Anand Chandrasekhar and Bharat Banka and Samir Shah. All these guys, senior director, all these guys are here and they are ready to help these startups and to take it to the next level. So large number of mentors, and even since you have large number of unicorns in India now, so unicorn founders are also coming forward to help these companies, mentor them. We have Ritesh as a brand ambassador with us, and he's also helping some of our startups to in the capacity building. We have pharmacy founders who are helping these startups. I can see and these global CXOs also investing and taking these startups to the next level. And so this is the right time actually to help these companies by providing the customized mentorship program and also build the next unicorn.
All right. We hope that so many more startups will benefit from this accelerator fund. Thank you very much for joining us today, Dr. Sharma. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you for taking our time. Thank you, Story, for taking our time for us. Thank you very much.
Well, time now to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.